Oh, you look too. Hey, everybody. So, we're having some technical difficulties today. There's a very strange thing going on in the world. And so, we're trying to get our folks online with us. Hey,
This is
Joe.
weird. Places.
Yeah, we're
Can
always both places. But, Valerie, did
you-
you get. I wonder, did she get. Valerie? 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 Okay, so it says it sent it. Bizarre. So, in case you guys are watching and wondering what in the world is going on, um, we're we're bring Valerie Stanton on camera. Yes, I want to bring Valerie on camera. We are having one more headache trying to get everybody on today. So,
Hello,
um,
everybody.
just in case you guys didn't notice, we were trying to go live from the computer like we always do, and we were having issues getting Valerie in. Um, and for whatever reason, she doesn't have any sound on her end. So,
Yeah, there's all this stuff going on with Verizon and everything right now. That's probably somewhere.
yeah,
I'm sure all this, and so we're probably getting some stuff somewhere across country.
probably it could be the Verizon issue that's happening. It just could be all kinds of different things. So, we didn't want you guys to be waiting too terribly long for us. And so I'm going to let Joe talk for a minute, and I'm going to try to reopen it on Zoom. And
Oh,
if
okay.
I can get her on Zoom on the computer, we'll shift. But we'll let you guys know, obviously, what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Hello. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, world. How y'all doing? Chris, what we really need here to wash these troubles away is my brand new product, organic. Um, Goodness, I'm sorry, I forgot my own pitch. See,
Joe,
guys, I'm just salesman. But I'll tell you what, I don't even have to sell this product. It's organic dirt bar soap. It's amazing, everyone. What I'm saying is, it's organic dirt bar soap. Have you ever been to a fire and had a mud bath? Well, have you? I have. And you know what I thought? I wish I could do that at home. I bet you probably thought the same thing, didn't you? You did. Tell the truth. You did. Guess what? You can now. Not only can you, it's easy. It's simple. You can wash your cares away with organic dirt bar soap. It's a new product.
absolutely.
Yes, yes. We are taking orders. The phone lines are open. Get in. There is a limited supply of organic dirt bar soap. Please contact me. You'll want this. What do you think? You want to kick back, nice glass of wine, cucumber salad, nice tub full of organic dirt bar soap. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I want to
Mhm.
do that, Joe,
Hey, everybody wants 5-star treatment at home.
right?
Pay the big prices. You don't have to
Absolutely.
believe you and a loved one have a nice evening, nice romantic evening. Maybe get a little dirty. Organic dirt.
Yes, organic dirt bar soap. And
Yeah.
I told Joe, just go ahead and send me a case of that, and I wanted it express shipped. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we are going to be down a guest. Our special guest is unable to be special today, and we apologize for that. Um, what
Chris,
I'm
you want
going
me
to
to? He can just jump on because I'd really like everybody to hear her story. It's better than me just pitching my new organic dirt bars, and
okay,
that's about all I'm like.
Valerie,
Organic
are
dirt bar.
you still here? If you're still here, give us a thumbs up or a heart. If you're still here, she may be trying to get in on the computer and not listening to us. So if she's still here, just give us a thumbs or hearts up. In the meantime, we're going to talk a little bit about today and the Red Sea of today. And so this kind of goes in our it kind of goes into our
Training.
excuse me, social media, because at
Hmm.
the end of the day, if it weren't for social media, if it weren't for internet, we would not be able to track the Red Sea today. So she's still there. So Valerie, this is what I want you to do. Joe's going to pop off. I'm going to send you a new camera invitation, and you'll
Bye, everybody.
accept that, and then we'll get Joe back on later. Thanks, Joe. So, oh my goodness. Where's Miss Valerie? There's Miss Valerie. Come on, Miss Valerie. We want to get you on here. So, Joe, did you pop off? Because it's showing you froze on my screen for some reason. Um, so let's resend. Okay, I resent your Valerie. I resent. You may request on your side to go on camera, and if you go on camera, if you request to go on camera, I can accept on this end. So, what's really cool about social media and the ability to be able to communicate with each other is that we get things like today, and what I want to talk to you guys about while we're trying to work this issue out is always expect the unexpected. Doesn't matter how many times you practice something, doesn't matter how many times you attempt to do something. Um, it really does not matter, because if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So, and again, in case you guys don't know, Verizon is having a major issue, major issue. I sent you another request. It should be adding you. Hey, there you
Oh,
are. So I'm just telling everybody about the major issue that Verizon is having. The entire town of Tulsa, Oklahoma is down. It's out. Verizon is out. Like there is no
that's
service.
we're having problems here as well in our little town. They're building a new tower, but it has made everything just wonky. I mean, just crazy. So thanks everybody for
Yeah.
patience.
Isn't that wonderful? I love that they were patient. And, here's what I want to say, Valerie, to you is thank you for being persistent, because what I was talking about, I don't know if you could hear me or not while you were trying to get on, was, always expect everything to go wrong, because it doesn't matter how many times you practice or how many times you do something. If it can go wrong, it probably will.
Hey, how many times do we do Zoom and conference calls, and like I was all set up and ready to go, and then but we have a message and we have to visit today because this is our day. And so you don't give up.
This is our day.
You just got to keep trying.
That's
Yeah.
right. And you did a great job of that. So, Valerie, what I'd like to do is just kind of ask you first and foremost. You live in a small town, and I know that, but most of the people here don't. And so, I would like for you to just talk about while I fill my cup of coffee, because I'm just going to walk off
Okay.
and leave you. But I'd like for you to talk about how social media has changed your businesses, because it's completely changed your
Yes.
life, right?
Yes. Social media. I live in a town of 2,000. Oh, they say 2,200. Okay. And without social media, I can tell you that I would not have a store. I have a retail store here. And although I have extremely beautiful, loyal customers in my small town, I started out in an ambulance shed, a little garage, right? And because of social media, well, I'll back up a minute. There were days we would have zero sales. I mean, nothing. And I knew that there just had to be more to life. Like I would not find myself losing um, losing out on life because I came from corporate America, right? And so why was this dream in my heart? And I reached out to a business coach. I had seen her on social media, And I read her bios and I thought, you know what? Why not try it? It's $47 a month. Why not invest in me and my business and learn a new skill? And so I did that. And I went through everything I could get my hands on in her boot camps. And I began implementing it. I did the $5 a day advertisings and boosted posts. And the biggest thing that you guys have talked about that is so instrumental is being authentic, being yourself, and consistency and showing up every day. And getting to know people on an intimate level. I mean, like, these aren't just customers to me, they are my friends. I may not know, I may ship a package clear across the United States, but just in how I bundle that package, I know what their favorite color is. So that's the tissue paper they're going to open. You know, it's the little small touches, and it's just building those relationships. And now in my retail store, I have a 5,000 square foot retail location. Um, it has grown and expanded, and it's a beautiful store. But I'm going to put the big but in there because I wanted more. And I don't mean that in a, oh, she just wants more and more and more. And I'm not a real big women's liber or none of that kind of stuff, but I am about education and empowering anybody. I mean, the men in this space, the women in this space. And I got rooked. I got took. I did a trading club. I did all of the YouTube videos, and I had accounts all over the world. I mean, like, you know, this YouTuber would tell me to do this, and I would do this, and this one would tell me to do this, and I would do this, and I was spinning my wheels. And at the end of it, I ended up with nothing except I had lost. Um,
Right.
and I don't want to say totally lost. I did not own my Bitcoin, and it's tied up for a year. And so, you know, I'm going to patiently wait that year out and then do it my own. But the fear was doing it myself because I
Mm-hmm.
had done all of the YouTube stuff and none of that was successful. And so I thought, well, I need to rely on someone else. And so when I relied on someone else, I learned, you know, shoot, they own my Bitcoin. Um, and for those of you that are watching and you don't understand what that means, it's a big deal because what I got messed up in was, you know, cryptocurrency trades 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I'm paid 5 days, a percent. And I see these scams all the time. You know, like I'm in these, you know, in pages and things on Facebook. And I see these scams, and I get mad. I mean, like, I don't want anybody to ever be taken advantage of. And so
No.
that became my drive and my passion. And I was introduced to cryptogenics, and that is honestly, that is where my journey started. And I'm not here to tell you, I don't have a great, big, huge team. I think we have like 26 on our team right now. We're growing. Um, but I have honestly spent the last 3 to 5 months learning, educating me. And so um, don't discount that. I'm turning my music down. If you all want to know where I'm at and what I'm doing, I play music in the shop, and it is blaring behind us. So I'm gonna turn
Oh
it down.
goodness.
There, you went into the dark room.
That's all right. We were behind the scenes.
But you know, so I just I had to learn and get my footings, and I also had to understand, why am I in this space? Why? What's my why? What's my story? And talking to a lot of women, we are afraid. We're kind of fearful of change, of an unknown, and I hope if I can encourage anybody today, number one, invest in you. I mean, you're worth it. And you take that and you grow yourself and you leave a legacy for your family. That's that's pretty much the bottom line. Crypto Joe wants me to tell my story a little bit. I was a single mom. I was a single mom with two little boys, 6 and 2, and very scary time. I really, honestly had a $20 bill. That was it. That was it. An ex-husband, he said, "I don't love you anymore," and that stuff kind of, that happens. And so, where did I go to? I come home to mom, and a very depressed young mother. And I went back to college. My mom made me. She's like, "Valerie, you've got to have your degree because you got to support your family." And I was taking 18 college hours. I worked one full-time job and two part-time jobs. I graduated top 10 of my class and became a school teacher. And but during that journey, um, I was in a really dark spot for a couple of months and had suicide letters written. I mean, I was going to take my life. I really felt like everybody would be better off if I was just gone from the picture, the equation. And literally in the middle of the night, my mother um, knocked on my front door. I was sitting at my kitchen table. It was about midnight. My mom knocked on my front door and I didn't answer her, and she opened it with a key. She was woke in the middle of the night. I don't know if that would have been in the night I would have done something drastic. I don't know. But I was in a dark spot. And my mom sat at that kitchen table with me and she began to speak life over me. Didn't condemn me, but she spoke life. And I began to realize that that was that was so meaningful to me at that moment. And something rose inside of me. Yeah, I did go to the doctor, and yes, I don't want to live in any shame on that. I got some medicine to help me through depression because it was a dark time. Um, but we ended up, my mom. I just keep going back to my mom. I graduated college. I raised these boys, and now those boys are 21 and 25. He'll be 26 in June, and we adopted a little guy, and he's 9, and he's on this new journey. I'll be 50 in August, and so everybody says, "Well, why are you doing another company? Why?" Well, I think from back there, it is about empowering whoever, man, woman, but wherever they're at in their life, that we have an opportunity to speak life over people, and we have an opportunity to encourage, and not an opportunity, but we have a responsibility. It's a social responsibility.
Obligation, yes.
I read a book here not too long ago, and it said, how many of you guys, you have a almost feel guilty if you're successful, like that self-talk is in your head, but we have a responsibility to be successful, um, because that responsibility goes on to our kids, to our community, to like this audience right here. Gosh, there's so many people. I just keep seeing people showing up. We have a responsibility because when we're successful and they can emulate what we have done, it's duplicatable. We're learning about that in Cage Eyes, aren't we? And that's something I spend every night. I'll work here in my shop. I go home and I'm on Cage Eyes, or I'm doing another one that's Words That Sell. I mean, I don't stop training and learning, um, and you can't give up on yourself. You're worth that, because whatever you're learning, you can translate that to somebody else. You know, maybe it just may be a sentence, but if I can pass that on and help somebody else, that's what we're supposed to do. We're a community. And so when
Yeah.
you asked, like Bethany Gibbs is on here. I've never met this lady in my life, and she called me this morning. She and Christy Snoddy called me this morning to encourage me for our talk today. Never met these ladies.
I
Isn't
love
that,
that.
but that's what, and so you know what they did? They rose me up because I'm not reaching out, right? I need to do that. When somebody else has something coming up in their life, I need to reach out to them. So they taught me something today.
That's beautiful. That's
Yeah. And
beautiful.
um, so yeah, this passion about this crypto space, as I have begun to really learn and immerse myself in this space, goodness sakes, have
Mhm.
mercy. You know, I don't want to say I live in a fear, but I would be very fearful if I didn't understand it. If that,
Right. Right. And you know what, Valerie? That's really at the core of our being, at the core of our being, because we're all beings, right? First and
yeah,
foremost, at the core of our being, I think that that's really what stops most people, is the fear. And so, I wanted to have you on here, and Joe and I talked about it, and I wanted you to tell a little bit of your story. And ladies are popping up everywhere in crypto,
yeah,
like
yeah.
seriously. But for a long time, it seemed like that the ladies were standing on the sidelines, and that worried me a little bit because um, you know, having come up the way that I've come up in my lifetime and through the struggles that I've been through, I've always known that if something was going to be great, if something was going to happen and it was going to happen the way that it should happen, the ladies had to be involved, because if the ladies weren't involved, it wasn't going to happen. And I was really glad to see over the course of the last year more and more and more ladies coming in. But you are a bright and shining star because social media has allowed you to make such great friendships and to branch out and to expand your business. And because of that, you and I met, right?
Yeah,
You met Miss Bethany.
yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah. I wouldn't know.
you know
Um, hang on just a minute. I've got a lady here asking me a question.
no
Hold on just
worries,
a second.
you take care of it.
Oh, I'm going to introduce everybody. This is Amanda. Hi.
Hi,
Amanda is
Amanda.
my right and left arm and right and left leg. No.
Very good.
We kind of started all of this journey together, and bless her heart, she's like, "What are you getting into now?" And she just lets me kind of do my thing. No, but
You know what? And that's beautiful because you have someone there that you can depend on,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
how great is that?
like
So many of us, and I think you and I talked before about how important it is for our spouse not to just say that they are with us, but to really be with us. And we had a long talk about
mhm,
that. And I know that you're
yeah.
convicted about that as well.
Well, you want to think about, um, you know, my husband and my kid, because when I'm like, I popped in and I said I'm going to Chicago to this boot camp, right? I
Hmm.
I gotta,
Hmm.
I need to see some people face to face. I need to shake their hands, and I need to spend some time picking their brain, and I need to hear it. I just need that. I knew I needed it. And my husband's he went out and he vacuumed the car, filled it up with gas. I mean, like he did all of these things, like, okay, you guys need to have some snacks to go on the trip. Uh, in a couple of
Aw.
days, I've got Devin here at home, go. And I came back and I got to say, I was different. I was different. Um, I want to say a belief, more of a belief. You got to talk about cryptogenics a little bit. It's a baby company. No, we're
Yeah.
10 weeks. We're in infancy. But when I sat there, how many owners, you think about this. I mean, these guys and gals, they don't really need to own this company. They're they don't need this company at all. They're self independent, but they did that for us. And sitting there and giving of themselves and their information. That doesn't happen, you guys. I mean, that just does not happen. I've been involved in a few other little network organizations. I never really felt like they were for me. I always felt like I'm going to make enough money that if I want to buy a vitamin or a whatever, I mean, I'll just go buy that. It just wasn't something that I felt like I could personally make a difference in someone's life. That's for me. I
Right.
knew something would come
Hmm.
along that I felt good about, and so here comes cryptogenics. And I can remember getting the phone call that day for launch, and it was, how fast do we sign up? I mean, I wanted to be on the front end of something. I didn't want to be behind it. I wanted to be in front of it. And Brandon Ivy said something at our boot camp. And if I, to this audience, the crypto space is happening, whether we want it to, whether we don't. There's articles every day. Yes, are we having some downtrends? Perfect time to buy and hold. I mean, it's happening. My sons that were stationed in Korea and in Italy, that's how they do business. I mean, they get on the train with their crypto wallet. It's
Hmm.
it's there, and um, we can either be in front of it or we can be behind it. And then if we're behind it, it's going to be forced upon us. You know, you're going to have a boss that's going to come in one day and say, I'm going to pay you in Bitcoin. You got a wallet? And
Absolutely.
and that's coming. It's coming faster. I was at a subway about an hour from here in Springfield, Missouri. That's a little larger town. And I look and I can pay with my wallet in Subway. It's here.
Hmm.
And in our little community, I get a lot of people that has a lot of fear with, oh my goodness, this is one world currency. It's the mark of the beast. It's the end of times. And so my thing back is I'm like, well, if that is it, then fine, so be it. I mean, I can't change that. I can't change if that is
No.
what is happening. Um, but I also know that, um, and I'm not going to get all religious on you guys, because those are kind of two things you don't do, is religion and politics. I mean, you know that in this space. But the last time I checked, when I can send my son in Italy $100, and it's going to cost me about 3 to 5 cents, maybe
Hmm.
maybe 6 cents, and it's going to get to him in the longest 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I've heard sometimes an hour. Or I'm going to go down and I'm going to pay like up to $45 and it takes a couple of days. To me, that's taking advantage of people.
It
So
is.
if it's a bad thing, um, I just don't view that as it's a bad form of currency. It's
Right.
legal. I can do it. There's a um, there's a ledger in place for all my transactions. It was economical on me. I can watch it transfer. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, when somebody can prove that differently to me, then I would rethink my options. But I don't think we're having the conversation enough that this is available to you. You know, you think of
Right.
all of these military families. You know, what do we do for birthdays? I sent gift cards. Well, if I send it by in the mail, it's going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If I
Hmm.
send, you know, if I send a transfer, a bank transfer, it's several days. Then what was happening is it would hold it on their end 3 days, so it's 5 days before they got the money, and and sometimes it would
Hmm.
be $25 to $45 for that transfer. And then until somebody told me about how I could do it with a wallet. Love you, Miss Vicky.
Got you a wallet for that, for those children,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah. You know, so it's little things like that. If you're, you know, take advantage of economics, of savings just for yourself. Maybe you don't want to be an investor, or maybe you're scared of this space a little bit, but at least play enough with it where you have an option. That's the biggest thing in life, is I think giving options to everybody. We have an option. But there's money. Oh, Michelle Jackson. This is my daughter-in-law, and she's in Italy. She's watching with us. Hey, they.
How cool is
Yeah, isn't
that?
that cool? Technology. But see, okay, right here, how many of us, I remember when the debit card came around. I remember sending email, and I thought, that can't be done. I was in corporate America. I'm like, we can't send email. What in the world? We did, didn't we? Yeah.
We did.
And
We sure
so
did.
what's the difference? Nothing. There's really nothing different.
No.
Nothing. And so my biggest um, my biggest thing is how we want to take fear out of this space. And I think that's by having conversations, and that's social media. I, Facebook
Yeah.
is going everywhere. You know, I use LinkedIn a lot, I use Instagram a lot, and I use Facebook. Um, I would have to say for my demographics, probably Facebook is um, it reaches more people. Um, but we can reach a lot of people, but it's all about building the relationships. You know, I'm looking here. Rebecca Cox. Okay, this lady right here was my former boss at the university, and she moved away to care for her mom, and she
See?
is on here. You know, I'm just like, you know, blown away right now. But this was a very strong woman. She lost her husband early. He died. She she was a campus director. Strong woman, right? And we as strong women, we have a message to tell. And a lot of that is we want to leave that legacy for our kids. We want to take fear away from people that's worrying about things. We want them to have a better life. And so women
Right.
in this space is a good thing. It's a good thing for.
It's an absolute good
Yeah.
thing. Look, you have shared so much with us, and I listen. You've got to come back. You just have to come back, and
I'm a,
hopefully our technology will work better next time. But here's what I want you to do, if you don't mind taking a couple more
mhm,
minutes. Um, I know that you personally did this because we talked
mhm,
about it, and I know that you took the training. And for those folks who don't know, cryptogenics is not a money making opportunity per se. Yes, we make money with cryptogenics by sharing with other people, but that's not our top priority. Our top priority is to educate others. And so when Valerie got her hands on this
mhm,
education, like she just
mhm,
devoured it. Because
mhm.
I remember we talked about it a good bit, and you devoured it, and you were like, I love this. And then I saw you post where you had actually taken the education, and you had invested in yourself with your own
Mhm.
exchange. You owned your own coins with your own exchange. And I would like for you to just kind of share a small piece
Okay.
of that, just to kind of give people a peek, you know, as in, because you're a real world
Yeah.
lady, right? You have several businesses, you have a child at home, you have a husband to take care of, you're very busy. And I think it's a great example that people can understand that with this education, not knowing before, but knowing after the education, that you could actually double your money. Because I think when you and I talked, actually, you had over doubled your money by just a hair. So will you share that with
Yeah.
us,
I
please?
I have a philosophy. Well, first of all, that education. I totally wiped out of my mind everything that I had falsely, because you've got to understand, YouTube is great, but when you Google, you don't know what you're getting. You're getting someone's opinion. right? So I totally had to get that out of my head. And when the platform came up, we had 41 videos, and what I don't think anybody really fully understands until you're in that back office, these videos, I mean, our education with cryptogenics is just going to continue to get better and better. And it's not even just in the education part itself, but our private Facebook page that we share. We are always, none of us are financial advisors. We don't hold that license, right? But we share an awful lot. I mean, just a little, we'll check this out. We'll look at this on Coin Market Cap, okay? But at the end of the day, you've still got to do your own, because my portfolio is not going to look like your portfolio, because these altcoins, and for people who don't know, there's thousands of altcoins. I just thought that there was Bitcoin, okay? And then I realized, well, there's, yeah,
Me
yeah,
too.
and so I'm thinking, well, Bitcoin, and well, that's great, but it's going to be running out. Well, but that's good because it has no inflation, right? So I'm like, well, that's good, but what else is there in this space, And I found out about Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, but I still, and then as I kept going through the education, how to read Coin Market Cap, how to set up the different wallets that would take it. So I would literally have two computer screens up, and I would listen to a video, and then I would work it over here. I would listen, I would work it. I didn't understand it, I'd ask a question, right? And so I told my husband, I said, give me $200. Can I have $200? And he said, you're asking me if you can have $200? I said, well, yeah, kind of. And I said, so can I have it? And if I lose it, is it okay? Because really, you should never do any type of investing if you shouldn't use that money for investing if your household needs it. Okay. So I wanted to make sure we were good on that. So I took it and I began diversifying into coins, altcoins that spoke to me. But I was taking my knowledge and doing the white pages and really reading. You know, I would Google who the president was of the company. I wanted to be in alignment with their project, how it was being supported and how it was being backed. And I can't say that I did all of mine, like the top 10 coins. I mean, I've got some that's down on the 80s and 200s on the list, right? Because I felt
Hmm.
a connection, right? And so that was my seed money. Now, this is just me personally. So once I began watching and my seed money went, like I was at like $500, I took my 200 that I initially started with and I dumped it into Bitcoin and I put it over in another wallet. Just I had made my money back. I did that with business.
Right.
I didn't, you
ROI.
know, if 3 people know about our educational platform, my initial investment, my seed money is paid back to me. So I always think that that's really important is that you get your seed money back. Then what you do from there, it's just pure profit. And nobody can argue with you about that. So right now, and I will just say that my seed money, I could buy my husband a new truck. I could go right now, put it in my
Very
wallet, and I could
good.
buy a truck. Um, and 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 I laugh about that because if you guys see my husband's truck, he wouldn't let me buy him a truck. He is a forester by trade, right? And so his truck is like 30 years old and beat up. And that will be the truck that, I mean, if I bought him a new truck, he would be very upset with me. But I laugh about that because I could do it, right? And so now I'm getting a little braver, and now I'm thinking, I want that Green X mining machine so bad, I just can't stand it. And he's like, well, you take your money, buy it. You have that in your account. Do that if that's what you want. He trusts me now because I showed him it could be done. And so
Hmm.
um, but I built my own confidence. You know, I I
Right.
think I mean, this space, I feel okay in it. And so once I got my
Hmm.
confidence level, I can talk to other people about it. So everybody does things differently.
Right.
I mean, you've got so many, when you start talking about personalities and the color that you are, like, are you a this or a that? We all are going to go through things differently. Some people, and I'm that one. I have to understand it all, you know, and then I dive in it. Some people will they'll watch the videos later and tell a million people about it. Everybody's different, and that's okay. Um, but for me, that's how it had to work for me. And so,
Right.
um, and there's no looking back. Um, you know, I I now I'll look and I may just have an extra $25 or an extra 50. Well, what can I do with that? With 25 bucks, I am a sweet tea drinker like crazy. Like Sonic is um my bad thing. Well, I can now go through Sonic and get like a 40-cent water instead of a $3 tea, okay? Because those $3 in 1 week I could put $25 in my Bitcoin account. It's changed my way of thinking. I didn't have much guilt if I did it in like 25 bucks to put it in my CD that was getting a 0.5% of interest. I mean, but now I feel a little guilty. I feel socially responsible to myself. Or
Right.
I need to be thinking differently on what I spend that money on. So yeah, it's changed my whole mindset. I mean, this space has changed my entire way of thinking. It really has.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, the funny part, Valerie, when we talk about trading, and basically what you and I are talking about right now is more or less the day trading part of it, more or less. Um, you know, we all have coins that we hold, or hodl
Yep.
is the term in the
Yep.
industry. And, for us, um, it's important because, and I say this because not a lot of people that are viewing right now might realize this, but and I don't know this specifically, and I'm not diving into your finances. I'm just comparing
Mhm.
notes. But I personally get really excited about those coins that are like, you can buy them for maybe a hundredth of a penny
Yeah.
a piece, like those really get me excited. They get
Yeah.
my adrenaline moving,
You know
right?
what I love is when
So,
like it's a penny a coin and you look in your portfolio and you own like 10,000 of them. I mean, doesn't that sound like it?
right,
Like tons of money, but it was only like a couple $100? Think about it.
right.
I'm sitting on one right now. I bought in at a penny and it's at 4 cents today. 4 cents.
See,
And and I'm watching
see,
all of the analysts, like I'm not selling, I'm holding, I'm holding, I'm holding. Um, and I just have to get it when it feels right in my gut, you know. I'm gonna watch it. I mean, if it went down to 2 cents, I've still doubled my money. But yeah, I'm like,
mm-hmm.
I looked and I'm like, I have 10,000 of that coin. I've never had 10,000 of anything. I mean, that's the
It's pretty
yeah,
cool, right?
and those opportunities are out there. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I
Yes.
would say that the crypto space has done, the number one thing that I really, really feel that it has done, it has given hope to the entrepreneur as far as starting like the ICO. To do an IPO, you have to go through so many hoops to start a new company and to incorporate it and offer stock. That's a big deal.
Yes.
But this
Hmm.
is a little different. And so, for these inventors, these people, we have some smart people in our world, that's coming up with these apps and data systems. And I mean, things that are revolutionizing and changing our world, right? Um,
Right.
they have an
Hmm.
opportunity to do that through ICOs, these companies, like collaboratively coming together and inventing something that could change the way we do business. And then what's cool
Right.
is us little guys can buy into that ICO or when that coin is small. So it has renewed a sense of the entrepreneurial spirit when you look at
Yes.
this space as a whole.
And you know what, Valerie? I want to tag on to that by saying, it makes my heart feel good, right? When I read a white paper and, who cares if it's under a penny a piece, right? Like, yeah, there's an opportunity there, but you believe, you become one with the project. Your heart says, hey, help this guy. And you may only have, like, I'm like you, I do small amounts. So I may only have like $100, but that $100 goes towards helping that guy get his thing off the ground, right? And so, you're not just helping yourself. And that's what I try to get people to understand. And I know you have the same mindset, is you feel like if you don't try to tell people, you feel like they're missing out and you've missed an opportunity to change someone's life. And it's incredible because we have that opportunity on a daily basis. But you know what? Here's what I want to say. You have been an awesome guest. We've pushed through all of our technical difficulties. We're going to have you back. We're going to have you back. We're going to talk more about penny stocks. Well, that's what I call them anyway. Penny cryptos.
That's right.
And you know what? The fun part of this is that we have a relationship. We have a bond now that we would have never had without social media. And I love that.
I would have never met you, So take this opportunity, everybody that's on this call, pick somebody out and have a conversation. Get to know them a little bit. I didn't realize, like Krypto Joe, he's in Eureka Springs. Goodness gracious, I'm like 2 hours from him, 2.5 hours from him, probably.
It's tea time,
we
honey.
We should be having an event, Joe.
It's tea time, honey.
I need to go down and get some of that soap. No.
Yes. Yes. We all need some of that soap. Yes, honey. We're going to put that in your shop. So look, guys and gals, we have used up just about all of our time, and that is okay. What we do want to remind everybody is we have a Cryptogenics presentation today, kgxglobal.info. Get over there, get you some information. Valerie does a great job of helping people. If you're looking for an empowered lady, she's your lady. We've got a lot of other empowered ladies on our call today.
I'm watching.
You guys reach out to these women. These women, they are nurturing souls. Krypto Joe's on here. I want to tip my hat to Krypto Joe for jumping off and giving the lady the seat. That was beautiful, Joe. Thank you for that. Love you, man. I can't do this without you. We're a team. So this is what we want to do. We want to invite Miss Valerie back, and I think she's good with that, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll invite her back and we'll talk some more. But most importantly, this has been recorded. We'll get this out to everybody because there was a lot of good stuff today. A lot of good stuff.
Take one thing from any time you go on live with somebody. You guys come every day. You can take one thing and apply it. There'll be something that is speaking to you, or you wouldn't be on this call. There's a fate that you're here today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Valerie. You want to close us out for the day?
Well, hey, yeah.
Okay.
Have a super, super, super good day. Do something for yourself. I want to beg you to do that. Whether it's read a book, take 30 minutes. You earn it. You deserve it. Don't feel guilty about it, but do something for you. Reach out to somebody, ask them a question, but do something for you today. You earn it. You deserve it. And we love you so much.
We do. Yep. We love all of you. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Thank you, Miss Valerie.
Goodbye.